roadside service, last mile delivery, ride share, food delivery. These are the hustlers and grinders on these Atlanta streets that answer the call.
Our guest, Nicole Billings Turner, State Farm Agency, an Atlanta business at the intersection of insurance, transportation, safety, and innovation in the city.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a pleasure to have you today, Nicole. So let's start with just the easy questions.
Okay.
How did you get into this business?
I feel like I've always been into it, like I was born into it. My mom was a State Farm agent in Nashville, Tennessee, and later became in leadership. I've worked for agents my whole life. I've been in marketing and training. I was that kid that instead of playing doctors and lawyers, I played Miss Insurance Agent. I was 5 years old with business cards made out of construction paper. So this is what I was meant to be. I've been in it for a while. I've owned my own agency for over a decade, and I absolutely love it.
Okay. So what motivates you to push and to grind and to grow every day in this industry?
Absolutely my customers. So it's important to me that they have someone that's knowledgeable, which I am, that's caring, that's down to earth. I certainly can't do it alone. So I have an amazing team of professionals that love on my customers every day the same way I do.
Okay.
And actually because of that team, we are one of the top rated agencies in the country with over 1,700 five-star Google reviews.
Okay.
And we try to excel every day. We try to make sure we take care of our customers, we educate our customers, and we're there for them.
So walk us through the culture that you've been able to develop and establish inside your agency and how that impacts the customers that really come to, Nicole Billings Turner Agency.
We like to have a lot of fun in our office, right? We take care of customers, we get to know their families, we get to know what's important to them. And we educate them. So we meet them where they are. So today you may not be in the house you want to be in, the car that you want to have, your business may not be where you want it to be, but we can sit with you, we can talk to you, we can put steps in place for you to get there. And then at least you know you're supported and you know what you're going to need at that next level. So we try to have fun with our customers. We try to make sure they feel like family every day, that we're available and accessible to them. And it makes our office very positive and light and just fun, enjoyable.
Right, and I believe that would trickle down or flow down into kind of the customer service end of it.
100%.
So walk me through a day in the life of the Nicole Billings Turner's agency in 2 minutes.
Oh boy, well, it's fun. We start our day first thing in the morning. We have about an hour before the phones roll over. So we check emails, we check phone messages, make sure we didn't miss anything from the customer the day before or earlier that morning. We have a team huddle to see if there's anybody that we need to get to immediately, anything that needs to be done, and then kind of set our plan and goals for the day.
Okay.
Once the phone rolls over, it is just off to the races, right? All different types of calls, from just needing to add a car to my mom's getting ready to go to assisted living, what needs to happen here, to I want to start this business, what needs to happen there, to my house just burnt down, right? So it's all different types of calls, all different types of people, all day, every day. In addition to that, we do a lot of outside marketing. So we will go market to other insurance companies that maybe don't do what we do, or apartment complexes, realtors, car dealers. We do financial literacy for the local school systems. So we'll go around and teach the kids and things like that. But it's on the go. It's fast paced. Phones are ringing. Customers are coming in. We get our emails and texts all day long. So it's just a lot of fast-paced learning, growing, touching on customers.
So that's a good point. So if there is a school that's interested in this financial literacy program that you have, how do they get involved? How do you select them? How do you find these?
Absolutely. Yeah. We
that.
ask that they just email. They can email info@nbturner.com. And through that email, we will take a look at the proposal. I mean, we do everything from preschoolers. We can teach them about fire safety. We can teach them about saving and their first little piggy bank that we bring, little State Farm Piggy Bank. And we start all the way from preschool and we take it all the way through college. And so just depending on their level, whether it's talking about credit reports or savings, investing, the whole spectrum, we will discuss. So they email it to us. We will generally pop them on the calendar and try to get out there.
Okay, so for all those teachers and administrators around the Atlanta school system, this is your moment to, put your students on the radar.
Absolutely.
For this kind of program. I think that's awesome.
100%.
I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so strong insurance enables the entire mobility ecosystem to function. Your thoughts on that?
It couldn't be more true, right? Without good insurance, it can completely impact your ability to make a living in the mobility industry. Accidents are going to happen, especially in this industry. You have to make sure that you have the proper insurance to get you back on your feet as quickly and painlessly as possible. Insurance is integral in that process.
Okay. So when drivers think they're covered, what are they usually misunderstanding? What is the big misunderstanding around insurance coverage?
Oh, that it's so different. And there's so many different coverages with so many different companies. And that what comprehensive might be for this company might be very different from another company. Right. They may cover things at this company that this company will not cover. Right. Some people consider full coverage just having liability, which is the only thing that's required by the state is that liability with comprehensive and collision. Another company may consider full coverage having liability, comprehensive, collision, and maybe uninsured motorist. It really depends from company to company, but there are a lot of coverages out there. Right. So if you don't have an agent that's sitting with you, that's talking through what you need, what's beneficial for you and your family, you may be missing some coverages that you actually need to have as a part of your program. Right. So there's a lot of misunderstanding between what's considered just liability only versus what's considered full coverage. Right. Full coverage can run the gamut.
Okay. So how would you frame that for the folks that are in the gig economy? So, those that are doing rideshare, last mile, food delivery, roadside service, I mean, that ecosystem is growing tremendously, and they're providing a very unique and required service.
Yeah.
How would you kind of help them to kind of frame, kind of their approach to insurance?
One thing that I have found is that a lot of people that are doing those hustles don't realize that they do need to contact their insurance company to add on an endorsement. You cannot be an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, some of these other type of things, and not notify your primary insurance carrier that you're doing it. Through State Farm, we call it a TNC endorsement, which just lets us know that, hey, part of the way that you're using this vehicle is for business use. Right. You have to let us know that, because at claim time, we now have a system that can show if your vehicle is linked to any of these companies. Okay. The moment you are linked to Uber, Lyft, any of the other companies, you have violated your personal auto policy. We can deny the claim, we can cancel your policy. Even if the accident didn't occur while you were actually doing Uber or Lyft, it doesn't matter. The moment you become an Uber or Lyft, any other type of driver using your vehicle for business use, and you don't let us know, you have violated the policy. So that is important. It's extremely inexpensive. Yeah. Extremely. It could be just a couple dollars a month. Oh, wow. But if at claim time your car is totaled and we say, sorry, we can't cover that because you didn't let us know, then that gets painful.
So does this happen more often than not?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. So it didn't used to, right? We've had the technology for a little bit of time, and it would just be like, hey, we found this out, make sure you contact your agent and let them know. Okay. Now companies aren't being so nice. Now you're starting to see the declinations of the claims. Now you're starting to see the policies being canceled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that really does put a lot of the drivers out there on the street who are doing their hustle at risk. So
absolutely.
Make sure, speak to your insurance agents. And that's kind of the goal for this podcast, is really to share insight and information that you can be better informed, and to make sure that you take the risk out of your business. So where does the biggest connect happen? Claims, roadside, or communication?
To me, communication is always key, right? Communication is key. So you may have a disconnect on the claim side simply because the communication wasn't there. There is sometimes disconnect on the road service side as well. I know a lot of our customers get a little anxious sometimes when they call in or use the app to get emergency road service, and it takes a while for the service provider to get there. And so there's some disconnect. Do I stay with the car? Can I leave the car? Am I at risk? Well, it depends.
Right.
If you leave that car on the side of the road and it's waiting on the service provider and say it gets hit by another vehicle, there's some companies that are going to deny that claim because they're going to say that you should have remained with your car at all times. So communication is key. If you feel like you've been waiting a little while and you got to go somewhere, you might need to call and say, is it okay that I step away from this vehicle? Is it okay that I remove myself? Can we call another service provider? Communication is absolutely key.
Right. And I mean, these are very real instances that happen all
Absolutely.
the time.
Absolutely.
And yeah, there could be multiple reasons: medical, physical, emotional, whatever it is. People will
Yes.
just leave their cars there.
Yes.
But really communicating and kind of asking the right questions kind of takes the risk out of
Absolutely.
the claim. So how do insurers actually calculate risk for everyday passengers and commercial drivers?
I get this question every day. I've been with you 10 years. Why does the rate keep going up, right? So the insurance premiums have a lot of things inside of it. So of course we look at your driving history. Of course we look at your loss history, right? So claims, tickets, accidents, things of that nature. We can only technically surcharge you for things that you are at fault for. However, we do use something called claim frequency. A lot of people don't realize when they're using their emergency road service, it's a claim. It is a claim. Not everyone realizes that. But it's not a claim that we surcharge you for, but it is calculated into claim frequency. So the more you have, the higher chance you have of your premium going up. In addition to that, we use your credit characteristics. So basically, the higher your credit score, generally the lower your insurance premiums are going to be. We also use how good you pay your utility bills. People don't realize that. It's captured. How well you pay your insurance premiums. Are you late on your insurance premiums? That's captured into your premiums. So paying your bills on time, not having the tickets or accidents, where you live. You can live in one part of Georgia, move to another part of even the same metro Atlanta, move to a different part. Your premium could go up if that area has more claims, more losses than another area that you just came from.
Okay. So is this an insurance industry secret that only the folks in the insurance industry know? Or is this kind of shared more broadly with the general customer? Are they aware of these factors that, that causes a jump in their premiums?
I'm gonna say most are not aware, right? Now you can Google it, you can figure that out, but most aren't aware that even if I file a claim, even if it's comprehensive, even if it's uninsured motorist, even if it's emergency road service, that's kind of calculated. It is. Again, it's not a surcharge, but it does contribute to claim frequency. A lot of people don't realize the credit part of it, right? That is huge. So if you're not paying those bills on time, insurance companies have been able to statistically prove people with lower credit scores actually have more claim frequency. And so those are things that you want to watch. If everything is going up, if insurance premiums are something that you want to try to keep manageable, there's something that you can do about that. I even tell customers, before you go move into that new house or apartment, call me and let's see what your insurance premiums are going to do. Calculate that into your moving. I've had someone move from one part of Metro Atlanta to another part, and it was $100 a month difference. So that may have been a factor, when looking to move somewhere.
Right. Interesting. Is roadside assistance through insurance a core service or an add-on or an afterthought?
It's 100% an add-on, right? It is not what we consider a main coverage. It is an add-on. And because of that, we want you to use it, just not frequently, right? So some customers will get upset. They'll get a warning letter from the company that'll say, hey, you've been using emergency road service a little too much. If you keep using it, we're going to take it off.
Okay, so help me understand that. I mean, when you say frequency, what is the frequency? Is there like a baseline for the frequency?
There's a baseline for the frequency.
Okay. You mind sharing?
I'm
sure our viewers would like to know that.
I'm just going to say, if you're using it once a year, you're probably okay.
Okay.
If you're starting to find yourself using it 2 or 3 times a year, you're running out of what we consider average. That is not average at all. When you're getting emergency road service through the insurance carrier, it's so inexpensive. It may be 45 cents a month, $1 a month, right? It's not built for you to use it every 30 days. Okay. So if you're using it like that, you might want to go through your credit card company, right? Your phone company has emergency road service. Your car dealers have emergency road, AAA has it. So if you're using it frequently, you might want it separate from your insurance company, because again, the more you use it, it is a claim. It will go into your claim frequency. Eventually, it will affect your rates.
Yeah, interesting. So, there's platforms like Jib Roadside Assistance where, we operate just like Ride.
Absolutely.
And you pay out of pocket.
Yes.
So if you don't want your insurance to go up, you can actually, there's an alternative where you can get roadside service coverage and you just pay out of pocket and it doesn't affect your premium. So,
Absolutely.
That's kind of where we're actually positioned in the market as a key infrastructure.
And actually speaking to that, so I know with our company, we have 2 options with emergency road service. You can call the 800 number or use the app, and then we will assign you a carrier, or you can go through whoever you want to go through. Right. So say they call your company, they have someone come out there, all they have to do is text me or email me or bring into the office their invoice, and we will reimburse them on the spot.
Lovely, I love it.
And we love it because that means you can probably get a carrier out there much quicker than we are able to. Excellent. So we highly recommend that to our customers.
Right, excellent. Yep. Speaking my language.
Absolutely.
So insurance covers the cost, but who covers the roadside service experience?
That's going to be the service provider, right? So you'll call into the insurance company, we'll send you to dispatch. Okay. Dispatch will then get you connected with a service provider, and that service provider will then come out and, of course, perform the service. I do like to tell my customers that you have to give us feedback, because if that service provider, they were late, they were not professional, something didn't happen right, the more feedback we get, we can remove them from our list, right? So the feedback is super important, good or bad. If they're amazing, that's great. Then we're gonna wanna send more folks over to them. But if they weren't amazing, we don't wanna continue to put our customers in a place where they're having a bad experience.
Right, plus it doesn't do your brand very well.
Absolutely, because it comes back to us, right? Exactly. So we wanna make sure they're having a good experience. That feedback is key.
Exactly. So what big industry changes are coming down around insurance that you can share with the viewers in and around Atlanta that they need to be,
aware of?
Yeah, they need to be on the know on this.
There are going to be 3 things that I can think of. One is undisclosed drivers. So this is something that insurance companies over the last probably 5 years or so have been starting to move towards. Okay. It's really big right now, right? So if you have a licensed driver in your household that you have not notified the insurance company about, they're probably not going to be covered at claim time. Okay. And we're seeing that happen almost every day, where claims are being denied because Susie Q's daughter was in the household. She's been licensed for a year. You never informed us of it. She took the car to the mall and got in an accident. Now you have 0 coverage because this was an undisclosed driver. And so this is big. You want to pick up the phone. You want to let your insurance company know that there's someone that's living with you that is licensed. So that's big.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's a key component because a lot of young people are driving, even in high school.
100%.
So you really need to, as parents, caregivers, need to really communicate.
Absolutely.
That they are driving. And they need to be on your policy.
If it's a roommate or brother, cousin. But the second thing that I would say is telematics. It's here to stay. At State Farm, we call it Drive Safe and Save. Other companies call it Snapshot, things like that. but it's usually a device or an app that you can put on your phone that tracks your driving habits. A lot of people are scared of that, right? They're like, oh, I don't want Big Brother in my car with me. It feels intrusive. But what I will tell you is most vehicles already have the capability to give us that information anyway. And so at claim time, we can find out how fast you were driving. We can find out where you were located, all of that anyway. What telematics does is it allows the rate to fit you. So instead of you getting a rate that's just based on Metro Atlanta, if you're a pretty good driver, you're not driving at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you are like, hey, I've never had any tickets or accidents, you may want to consider one of those telematic devices because then it's specific to your driving habits. I've had some customers' premiums be cut in half. Because they just, they're good drivers. They're not like the, Metro Atlanta drivers. So telematics is huge. But then thirdly, it's just all of the information that's now available to insurance companies. We're going to get your information when you get an oil change, when you get new tires, when anytime your vehicle is serviced at all. We're going to find out the mileage on the vehicle, the wear, the use. So there's a lot of information we talked about before with how well you're paying your bills and your credit scores, how frequently you move around for whatever reason. That information is a part of it. So a lot of information is put into insurance now. Got it. Red cars are more expensive to insure. Is that a fact or is that fiction? That is fiction. That is fiction. Yep. And why is it fiction? It is fiction. You can go just as fast in a black car as you can go in a red car. But that is for most companies. I will have a company or a customer call me and say, hey, I want to make a change on the blue car. And I have to tell them, I have no idea what color your vehicle is. All I have is your year, make, model, and VIN number. We don't even have the color of the car listed. So, no. Yeah. Okay. A traffic ticket or accident will automatically increase rates. Fact or fiction? So that's going to be a depends. I would say majority of the time that is fact, right? If it is an at-fault accident or if it is a ticket, then you are surcharged. Generally, you're surcharged 3 years. If it's a major violation, then it can be up to 5 years. There is a caveat there, though. If you're with a company and say you've been with them for a little while, you may be in their preferred company. At State Farm, we call that mutual company. Our mutual customers are not surcharged for tickets. And then you can also earn what's called an accident-free discount. So you may get in an accident and it's your fault, but you might not be surcharged because you've been able to build up this accident-free discount, which I know a lot of companies have available. So one of the ways that insurance premiums can go down is going through this education program. 100%. And ask me how I know. Because I know. He just went through it. Well, a while ago, but I've been through it. Just walk us through, at a high level, how that really works. Absolutely. And, because a lot of people don't do it because they just don't understand it. I know. So it's a defensive driving discount in many states, including in Georgia. If you have no tickets or no accidents for the last 3 years, you can take the defensive driving course and it will give you a 10% discount for 3 years. So the course is super easy. It's not like it used to be where you had to sit in a classroom for 8 hours to get it. Now you can do it online, you can do it on your phone, and they will send you the certificate that you send to your insurance company. And again, it's for 3 years. So with our agency, it's complimentary through us for our customers. We try to make it super easy for them to do, but it is definitely worth doing. And every driver in the household can take it. And that's 10%, generally, give or take, for the drivers. Okay, great. If a gig worker is looking for insurance, what are the key features or key facts that they need to look for? And how can you help them? How can you advise them? Absolutely. We talked about before that there are a lot of coverages out there, right? So you've got your basics. You have liability, which is what's mandatory for the state. That is what will take care of the other driver that you may hit and that you may harm. So I'm going to start there. The minimum for the state of Georgia limit is 25, 50, 25. That's the lowest you can go, right? That would not be what I would recommend for someone who is on the road every single day. A disconnect happens when you talk to a customer and you say, hey, I think that we need to double this, either to 50, 150, maybe to 100, 300, 100 or higher. It doesn't double your premium, right? You may be looking at an extra $3 to $5 a month, maybe 10, right? Not a lot, but it won't double your premium to double the coverage. This is what prevents lawsuits. You hit and you harm somebody and now they're in the hospital and they come and sue you for $100,000. Well, if you have minimum $25,000 limits, we're going to pay our part. We're going to pay $25,000. You're going to be on the hook for the other $75,000. So for just maybe a couple of dollars extra per month, you can get coverage that's real coverage that will protect you in the event of an accident. So it's liability. You have comprehensive and collision that protects your car, right? Those are standard, especially if you have a vehicle that you're still maybe paying on or that's relatively new. You want to have those coverages on your policy. Uninsured motorist in Georgia is key. About 25% of our drivers here are uninsured, meaning they are going to hit you and leave the scene of the accident. Or you come out of Walmart, back into your car is smashed, or maybe you call their insurance company and it's been canceled, so they cannot pay to fix your vehicle. Uninsured motorist on your policy protects you. You also have something called medical payments, where whether you cause the accident or someone hits you, it doesn't matter. It can pay medical payments for you and everybody in your vehicle. And I would say the last 2 or 3 that I would add on, definitely rental car. If your car is your means of transportation, you're gonna wanna get rolling as soon as possible. And I add something to most of our drivers that we talk about, and it's called loss of wages. And that is, you get hurt in that car accident and you cannot go to work. It's a couple of cents a month. I think it's about 27 cents, sometimes it's $1, but it will pay up to $15,000 in loss of earnings. So there's a lots of different coverages that you can get on your policy to protect you that are very inexpensive, but you need to talk to your agent so they can discuss it.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. This is a great learning moment for
Absolutely.
all of us.
Yes. Oh, one more thing. I know we talked about me and you personally. If this is your job, that means that you are making the money, right? What I find that a lot of our customers don't realize is you have to protect yourself, meaning you need disability insurance, you need life insurance. Because if you're out there and you're in an accident and now you can't work for the next 6 months, how is that rent getting paid? How is the mortgage getting paid? How are your car notes getting paid? How is food on the table, right? So disability insurance is very inexpensive. You may be paying $3, $30 a month to cover $3,000 worth of loss of income. But it's important to do that.
Yes.
It's important to provide something for your family if you're no longer here to do it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And with that, how can our viewers, reach out and connect with you if they have, follow-up additional questions?
Absolutely. I would love for anyone to reach out to me. I'd love to assist anytime. They can call our office at 770-448-5100 or reach me on my website, which is www.N as in Nancy, B as in boy, Turner.com.
Nicole Billings Turner from Nicole Billings Turner Agency. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mobility is the heartbeat of Atlanta, Georgia.